2012 movie review. Alright, first off, before I do any spoilers, it was a good film. So it's a film about 2 hours and 38 minutes long. So in there you're basically 3 hours with all the credits and all the trailers and whatnot in there as well. Okay, now here's the spoiler part. So if you don't want any spoilers, I would say, should you go see the movie? Yeah, go see the movie. If you like you like seeing things blow up and explode, the world coming to end, this is the film to go see. Alright, here we go. Some spoilers going in here. So basically I'm going to talk about the movie. Now, as you guys probably all know, I actually wrote a screenplay a couple of years back called 2012. And so I had some interest in this long before the hype in Hollywood and whatnot with this as well. And I knew about it because I listened to Art Bell and various radio programs and the internet and whatnot like that. And I always thought it was fascinating, this calendar the Mayans had ends in 2012. And I thought it would be a great plot for a movie. Just a title long, 2012, and once you know what that was, I knew that would be a good seller. And along with that, I didn't realize this. I guess I should have realized because there was so much hype on it. Both showings were sold out. And I went to the show and I said, kind of jokingly, was it sold out? Yeah, it's sold out. I'm thinking, okay. So I walked around and I thought, well, maybe I'll just come back tomorrow. And then I went there again. Listen, can I just get in there? I'll stand up. And they let me in. And sometimes it's good being an internet legend, I guess. And I'll take a free ticket too. So that was awesome. They said, yeah, just go on in. And I thought, man, rock and roll. So awesome. So I guess all that writing that screenplay and all those 2012 things I put in on the Facebook statuses have paid off. That it was manifest destiny for me to see this film tonight and do a review on it. So here it is. It's basically a hurry-up chase movie to the end, and basically you've seen this scenario happen before, and basically it's really what it comes out to being is Noah's Ark. How do you get to Noah's Ark before the world comes to the end? Are there some scenes in there that are basically unbelievable? Yeah, pretty much. I mean, if you're driving as the earthquakes are going, most likely you're not going to probably survive that. And I will say this, according to this movie, if you want to survive, you had better be a pilot, because if you can't fly a plane, you're not going to survive the end of the world. So that's one thing that has taught me to make sure to learn how to play Flight Simulator more so and whatnot, or become a pilot if you want to survive the end of the world, because they were flying all over the place. The story, it's a good story. It's basically about various families, one family in particular, and how they tie everything up together, how things are connected together are I think well done. It's a well written script. I mean, it's nothing too. It's not Citizen Kane, of course, this is a blown up Hollywood film on there, but it makes sense. Some things are improbable and probably impossible. However, just like for me to go out there and hit a 60 mile an hour softball, it's not impossible for me to hit it, but probably improbable because I haven't played baseball or softball in many years. So I could still potentially knock it out of the park, and maybe we'll see that sometime on YouTube. And it's really the acting. I thought the acting was fine. There's a Woody Harrelson character that steals the show, and he does a incredible job. You don't even recognize him at first, and then okay, you know who he is. John Cusack, I thought, did a good job as acting in there, and there's some other folks in there. And basically, a lot of it, in a lot of ways, this movie goes by how humanity would survive, how humanity would face death. In a lot of ways, how we face life is basically how we face death is how we face life. And I think this film kind of answers that in a lot of ways. And would you just go crazy if the world's going to end tomorrow? Would you just go go crazy, whatnot, or would you reflect? Would you want to be with the people, your loved ones? What would you do? And that kind of begs the question for that. In a lot of ways, you go through there and watch this, and the CGI is incredible. It's amazing. Everything looks real. I didn't see anything in there that looked fake. Everything was amazing. When you saw the animals basically going into the ark, that looked pretty cool there. And they do some sucker things for you as well. You're basically thinking they're spaceships, but they're not. They're basically arcs. and that actually makes a whole lot more sense in a lot of ways. And you know, it kind of shows in some ways that, you know, humanity were to pull together all their resources, would you be able to you know, would we be able to survive? And I like to think so, but who knows? On here, it kind of answers that question in some ways, at least the scenario of it, and so forth. So good film. I mean, really, it's kind of deep if you think outside the box a little bit. I'm sure there's a lot of metaphors in there that you kind of miss. At the very beginning, there's some protesters going on, and it starts off in 2009, and you see someone there, the Mayans in the time 2012. And, you know, some of the precursors of what's going on and down the line. And it's a good film. It's a good film. I'd probably say, let's say out of 10. I mean, for the CGI stuff, I'm gonna give it an 8 altogether. Because with the CGI, the story, and so forth, would I want to see it again? Probably not. I don't think I need to see it again. At least not for another 10 years or something like that. It's a good film. 2 hours and 35 minutes. It really didn't seem that long. There's a lot of stories going on. They connect together. The cutting is really great. The music sounds great. You're involved with the story. There's some things that you kind of know what's going to happen. You know, when so-and-so is going to die, and this, that, and other. You know, so-and-so is not going to make it. You know, and there's a couple of somewhat twists going on there. Nothing that you know, if you've seen any film before, you probably can figure a lot of these things out. I don't know how this is going to play off at other places. I don't know if other folks are going to really like this film a lot or not. I think it's a really good film, and I've seen a lot worse. I've seen a lot better too, and I think my screenplay would have been very different because I couldn't, you know, blow up the world. Basically, I had to like save the world on my screenplay. But it's a good film. It's a good film. I say go check it out. And, you know, of course, I gave a lot of spoilers in it. If you watch this far, if you don't think you'll see it, you know, watch it on DVD when it comes out. And I think it's a good bubblegum, blow 'em up action film, and it has heart. And of course, there's going to be a Hollywood ending to it. You know, basically some people survive, humanity will go on, and you know that you knew that was probably going to happen at the end. I tell you what, it would have been bad. It would have been awesome if they didn't do a Hollywood ending. All right. Sorry, that's it. Earth's done for. But, you know, Hollywood's not going to do a downer movie. And I can see how this movie would have tested well with audiences. And I'm really quite surprised and shocked that they both showings were sold out. I think people were unprepared for that. I don't know if that's going to continue. But that tells me that this movie is probably going to be #1 this week. If in the town that I live in it's sold out, I'm guessing other places it's selling out as well. So anyways, go check it out. Some great CGI. The story's good. The acting's good. The music's good. It's a good bubblegum movie, action, blow 'em up scene. Some things are pretty amazing. When you see California go away, there's one scene at the Capitol where the carrier, John F. Kennedy's carrier, he comes in and smashes on top of the Capitol. And it's like, okay, wow. So there's some metaphors going on in there, I'm sure. And these big arcs look really cool. A lot of really cool action things, and really I think the pacing of it it's not that long of a movie. It was 3 hours being in there. It really didn't seem like it was 3 hours being in there. But if you expected Citizen Kane, it's not Citizen Kane, and I don't think anybody's expected Citizen Kane. But it's a good movie. I think a lot of people were dissing it for various reasons and so forth like that. You know, again, if you go in there with a mind already hating it, you're gonna hate it. If you go in there with an open mind, like, yeah, this is something fun to do, I think you'll enjoy it. Rock and roll, everybody, and 2012.